Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Atom RPG. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're chose to join me today in the Tower of the Mages. I think they have a name for it. Well, we're right now in the Apprentice quarters, but the Magi or something?
Yes.
Ooh. They have a name for it. And, what? Right. This looks like, slightly like a place that we've been to before, but it's not. We see piles of filth and a charred corpse. And Owain. Let's look around a little bit.
Please refrain from going into the stockroom. It is a mess, and I've not been able to get it into a state fit to be seen.
He's one of the silent, that doesn't have emotions or reasonable thought. Who are you?
I am called Owain, and I manage the Circle's magical stockroom. I was trying to tidy up, but there was little I could do.
Don't you want to get out of here?
I tried to leave when things got quiet. That was when I encountered the barrier. Finding no other way out, I returned to work.
Oh, Wayne, you should have said something. I would have opened the door for you.
The stockroom is familiar. I prefer to be here.
Emotions? He's badly purged! Whatever they do to people to rid them of their emotions. No. That's bad. Come on. It's very finicky. It's one of my many pet peeves. The whole notion of removing emotion from people. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why it's one of my pet peeves. I mean, I don't know why. I have many reasons why, but the problem is, why do I not like it? I mean, you might not like things, and they're not necessarily pet peeves. You know what I mean? Famously for me, John Irenicus in Baldur's Gate 2, who is, I feel, still one of the most memorable characters of all time, John Irenicus, also mostly because his lines are just flawlessly performed. The voice actor is just incredible. He's not the best written, but he is absolutely the best performed in Baldur's Gate 2. And yeah, no spoilers there. Let's not spoil anything. Yeah, this is obviously an emotion, and because it's not a reasonable. It's not a reasonable reason, as in reasonable as in reason, a reasonable choice. Rather, I mean, it is. Well, there's many schools of thought, because reason is not a tangible physical thing, and it depends on how you define it, really. But it's his preference, his own bias towards familiarity, that's making him choose the stockroom over doing something that he should. Ween said he should have asked for something, and that should has a name in what's that psychologist's famous Freudian psychology, sorry, which of course it's outdated, but still, it has a name. The should is so grounded in our own understanding of our own reality, or our own psychology anyway, that it even has a name. And I don't remember what it is. I think it's like the super ego, the should. I think it's like, because we have the ego, the super ego, and then the id. It's a weird name, and it comes from Latin, so I don't know the name. But yeah, the ego is like, yeah. Anyway, if you can read into that. What I mean is, yeah, he's badly purged. Pet peeves, yay! I have so many. I'm gonna purposely step away from asking how he can be so calm, because my character is not an idiot. He's an idiot other times, but not on these things. Also, he doesn't like. He also has my pet peeves. All of my pet peeves, he has. Haven't you come across abominations?
No. I suppose I should count myself lucky. I would prefer not to die. I would prefer it if the tower returned to the way it was. Perhaps Niall will succeed and save us all.
I can give you that one. On the prefer not to die is not an emotion. Niall? Succeed at what?
I do not know. But he came here with several others and took the litany of Adralla.
But that protects from mind domination. Is blood magic at work here?
I do not know.
Niall was in the meeting. He would know. Blood magic. I was afraid of this.
I thought we knew it was blood magic, actually. How's it worse?
Blood magic could control us, too. Who knows what could happen then? We should find Niall. The litany will give us a fighting chance against any blood mages we encounter.
I wish you luck. Perhaps this will be over soon and things will return to the way they were. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Okay. So, Ween told you about the Litany of Adralla, a spell that wards off the mind domination powers of blood mages. Owain, Tranquil, that's their name, not Silent. Silent and Tranquil is sort of a similar word, but definitely very different in meaning here in this particular occasion. Who runs the stockroom, mentioned that Niall took the Litany of Adralla. Find Niall and the Litany. Perhaps he can help you battle the blood mages. Sounds good to me. Let's have a chat with Wyn, though.
Yes? Is there something you wish to discuss? If not, we should hurry. Time is of the essence.
We should. Yeah, our line should be a little bit smaller, but I think we're gonna spend the whole episode talking to you. What do you know about the Litany of Adralla?
Adralla was a bard in the service of Divine Clemens I. During the Second Exalted March, the schism had split the chantry into the one we know and the Imperial chantry in Tevinter. There was much mistrust of the Tevinter Imperium at this time, as you can imagine.
I still don't trust anything to do with Tevinter, considering, you know, their enslavement of the elves and all that sort of stuff.
Even though the Imperial chantry forbade blood magic, the chantry, our chantry, did not believe them. After all, many of the Tevinter mages, and even their magister lords, had used blood magic with impunity throughout history. Together, with the help of the chantry and its Templars, Adralla wrote the litany to protect against the mind-controlling abilities of blood mages.
Do you know how to use the litany?
It is just a spell, like any other spell. Any mage should be able to recite it. Reciting the litany breaks any existing mind control and prevents future attempts at domination from being successful.
Okay, can you tell me more about Uldred?
Uldred. It's uncharitable of me to speak this way, but I never liked him. He was a squirrely, twitchy sort of person. He never mentored the apprentices, never taught. He didn't seem to care much for the circle.
I think
only
I heard
his
that
own advancement.
before. Yeah. So, sounds like a thoroughly nasty person is what I'm gonna
Uldred
say.
has some redeeming qualities. He probably has a perfectly good reason for not displaying them.
And we should be going.
Onward, then.
So it turns out there was many questions. It weren't that many. Hey Morgan, maybe I should ask her something. She's a mage after all.
Yes?
Can I ask you something?
If you must.
No. Okay. Well, didn't spend the whole episode talking to Ween. A water-stained portrait. It is a gift. For whom, though? Let's save the game and see if we have anybody over here whose interests might like this. Amulet of Memories. That's for Ween. No, but that is one that I bought. This is not a gift. The water-stained portrait is, though. Let's give it to her.
Oh, marvelous.
Marvelous. Lovely. Okay. Small carved statuette. I am mixed up with the gifts. Because some of these will... I need to be careful, basically. Chant... Wait. Chant of Light Unabridged. For Morrigan? Can I read that, though? Let's see. So going to here... Can I read what that is? A luridly illustrate... Lurid? Lurid means elucidated, I think. But, you know, probably illustrated means something else or something similar. But anyway. Luridly illustrated copy of Chantry teachings complete with a 100-page concordance, and an overly simplistic collection of daily affirmations and how the chant can bring light into any life. That's a bad one, isn't it? That is not a good... Like, she would not like that. I'll save just to see what her reaction is, but this might have been bought as well, because I think it was with the Uncrushable Pigeon.
And you give this to me, why?
See? She doesn't like it. So, load the quick save. Because I just wanted to make sure. And now I can throw it away, actually. I'm pretty sure. because it's not doing anything here. Destroyed. It's interesting that it says unabridged, and then it says it's an overly simplistic summing up of their chants. Which one is it? Is it simple or is it complicated? Thorough, I
Please
should
do
say.
not draw attention to me. I would like to remain in one piece.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you farm that one concession I gave you about self-preservation. If I suppose that one could be considered not an emotion, although in certain settings it could be. That's the problem with going with
Quiet, both of you. I think I heard something. Keep your eyes open.
Oh crap! They were talking. Oh, this is fine.
For more practice.
This is fine. Don't forget to lower the volume because these people are loud. Okay, stunned there. Let's do a flurry. That's good enough. Okay, so now you get this. Dual striking to the face. And no more dual striking. Let's go over there. See if we can. Let's do a wide whip. That's good enough. Nice. Okay, then you get the dual fighting. Mind blast. That's kind of nasty. Please don't do that. Oh, it didn't last very long. Perfect.
Please, please don't kill me.
I don't know why I didn't. Let's see. Make her show you mercy, Maleficar, for you'll find none here. Then why should I? That's that's a very uncharacteristic line for my character. I wouldn't say that. Tell me why I should spare your life. The people you killed didn't want to die either. Let's go with that.
I know I have no right to ask for mercy, but I didn't mean for this death and destruction. We were just trying to free ourselves.
Morrigan,
Aldred told
don't
us that the Circle
hear.
would support Loghain, and Loghain would help us be free of the Chantry.
Oh, dang
You
it.
don't know what it was like. The Templars were watching. Always watching.
So this sets up what Morrigan said in a very different light. I would say it's less that Morrigan is very, her personality is very rooted. Well, although it probably still is, but I would say that it's less that her personality is very rooted in the whole being unaffiliated and free and all that, but more so that she's serving as an anchor point for what we're now seeing as as basically the duality here that's being presented to us, and the reason, the sort of conflict here, which is good. I like that there's a reason. It's much better than just having mindless treason or whatever. Because then we're faced with a choice. Yeah. The Templars are watching, always watching. And so you fought back. So, and also that paints my reaction before in a different light as well. That I had 3 lines. One of them was, maybe you are right. You should have expressed your concerns to the Chantry. Yes, turn to your captors and complain to them that they are capturing you. That is the correct way of doing it. What you've done will make things worse for future mages. Yeah. Well, it's interesting here because the analogies to other things, like if you could consider them slaves, which I don't think is the case, or not necessarily. I think their freedom here is much more connected to privacy rather than necessarily them being used and abused for the sole profit of somebody else. So it's not, and of course I do believe they are stuck in here, so they're prisoners. It's a complicated thing. I like, the problem is saying this sort of makes it. I don't think that, like, if I'm trying to draw an analogy between them and just plain slavery, then this is a terrible argument, because it is an argument used against slave insurrections, or not against slave insurrections, but against slave insurrectors. But it's making and it's just a terrible argument nonetheless, because it's laying the blame at their feet. It's not what they are doing that makes things worse for mages. It's what the Chantry is doing that makes things worse for mages, because that's the Chantry is the thorn in the butt of the mages, not the mages themselves. So that's the distinction there. It's the fault of the Chantry, not of them. The problem here, though, is and why I'm so reticent towards drawing any comparisons to anything, and using that as sort of my compass here. The problem is that they are, as far as I'm led to believe, they are prisoners. Let's put it like that, for very valid and relevant reasons, and this is probably one or the reason. The blood magic is the reason why they hunt apostates, and specifically unaffiliated mages. Anyway, so in many ways it's a very interesting thing, because you could even think of it as an analogy to gun control, which is not it's not completely that, but there's also that concern as well. It's sort of like, oh, this is too powerful, we can't let anyone have this unless we have some say on the matter. But then you're also sacrificing the literal movement freedom, or freedom of movement of the people who have magic abilities. I'm gonna say, and so you fought back. Why turn to forbidden? Yeah, let's go with this one. This is more about my character than my character doesn't really care about forbidden magic, if it's forbidden or not. So let's go with this one. And so you fought back.
The magic was a means to an end. It gave me the power to fight for what I believed.
Fighting for what you believe is commendable, but the ends do not always justify the means.
You don't really believe that, do you, Win? Change rarely comes peacefully. Andraste waged war on the Imperium. She didn't write them a strongly worded letter. She reshaped civilization, freed the slaves, and gave us the Chantry. But people died for it. We thought someone always has to take the first step, force a change, no matter the cost.
Nothing is worth what you've done to this place.
And now Aldred's gone mad, and we are scattered, doomed to die at the hands of those who seek to right our wrongs.
Her lines weren't very well laid out, I would say, which I'm not going to hold up against her, because she is literally dying right now. I'm not necessarily gonna kill her. What I mean is, she's dying. She's laying down and be like, "Oh, you hit me with your daggers made of frost so many times," and that's what I mean. Her lines weren't very well laid out, because she says, "Fight for what you believe in," right after she said she didn't like being seen all the time by the Chantry, the oversight of the Chantry. So it sort of almost makes you think that she's talking about she's not really fighting for what she believes in. She's rather fighting for her own self, and that is definitely not definitely not fighting for principles. It's fighting for yourself, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not criticizing her on that particular point. What I mean is, if you look at it that way, her argument makes not too much sense. What I think she's trying to defend, though, is that she wants to change, and then she explains that she just leads with fighting for what you believe in, and that sort of threw me off. I think what she's trying to do here is actually ending the Chantry, or changing at least the way mages are taken care of. And the reason why I'm sort of not too sure that that's the correct interpretation is just she has two lines that are weird. She has the first line on the fighting for what you believe in, right after she explains that she was fighting for herself, and then she says, "You don't really believe that, do you? About the means justify the ends." Which, again, going back, and then immediately she justify. Sometimes it's tricky to see somebody who makes a bad argument but still understand that what they're defending is correct, or vice versa as well, of course. But this, yeah, because what she's saying, she draws a bad example. So what she's saying in particular here is, or what she did, it was indeed justifying the means for an end, specifically with blood magic, and she killed them on purpose, or rather, not on purpose, but it was her own fault that people are dead, or her and her associates, because apparently blood magic, you know, that's what happens somehow. I'm not really sure because we haven't learned too much yet. On the other hand, when she refers to Andraste, it's important to note that insurrectors that, you know, I think Andraste was an insurrector against Tevinter. I don't remember the details, but it is important that if you're going for a revolution, like if you imagine, I don't know, you're an Italian citizen. Let's just go with Italy, because I know Italy, they're a republic and they have like elections, it's a democratic system and all the votes and things and all that. Okay, so it's simple enough, right? And they have all these treaties and whatever, just history and all that. It's good. It doesn't matter what it is. Italy is as good an example as any, I suppose. So imagine you're an Italian citizen and you're like, I have an end to rule over all Italy. I'll rule over all Italy. I will answer to no one, bow to no one, and everybody's gonna bow to me, right? And the means through which you're gonna do that are gonna kill everyone except those who bow down to me, right? That's the means justifying the ends, in the sense, or I guess the justification here being not very good. It's not a very good example that I'm making. What I mean is the means there are indeed killing people, right? Because you're defining a thing. However, somebody that would rise against you in that insurrection of yours, trying to be like, imagine you actually reached into become a tyrannical person in Italy. I don't know why I started with Italy, but it doesn't matter. Their means isn't to kill. Like, imagine 100 people would be like, we're gonna stand up against this person over here, and we're gonna fight. And their means isn't to die. Their means aren't to die. Their means, I mean, that's your mean. That's part of your means as the ruler, right? Because what I mean here is, if it were the Chantry killing them, then her and her friends wouldn't have been responsible for those deaths. And just the same with Andraste. It was Tevinter killing Andraste, as far as I can tell. Right? I don't know. Anyway, go back to that example with Italy. That was terrible. Anyway, let's continue. Let's... Enough self-pity. You'll die for your crimes. You know we cannot allow blood mages to live. That's... I'll go with the first one. This sounds... It's complicated. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna go with the first one. You'll die for your crimes.
No, please.
Oh, she's feeling better now. Oh, she is feeling better. Okay.
Oh,
Nice. Stunned.
let's do this quick, shall we?
And there we go. Yeah. The means justify the ends. I don't know.
The precious circle, not even the first to touch the Fade in their...
Sorry. You're gonna continue to touch the Fade. What was this? The Watchguard of the Reaching. I'm telling you guys, it's quest related. Oh, there's more. Yeah.
their own tower. How appropriate.
Yeah, that thing goes away fast, so I can't tell which one was the last one. Got a Scroll of Banastor. Scrolls of Banastor is a new codex entry. What the heck was that? To align with the power of the Fade is but the first of many steps. This is how they become mages. The Fade here being the other world, or where the dead go to. Further is to align the mind to the Fate's rules and find the ties between the realm of dream and the realm of flesh. This is the true power of blood magic. The flesh and the mind are inseparable, and therein lies the power to influence the control of minds. Yay, I can redeem myself from my terrible example. You know what would have been a good thing? You know why I don't like that the ends justify the means? Because if she were fighting to end blood magery, and if the Chantry somehow were responsible for maintaining blood magery, even if in a controlled manner, if they were fighting for that, then the Chantry would fight against them, and then she would be like, yeah, the ends justify the means, and she would have some measure of righteousness, because she wouldn't be the one responsible for the deaths. If everybody did as she had asked, she'd just be like, hey, please stop being blood mages. And the Chantry would be like, sure, okay, there you go. But no. Although, that's also a bad example. That's a bad example because if the Chantry just had let her go... No, it's a good example. I'm going back and forth between... Okay, so let me finish my thought here. I think the example I gave just now was bad because she was in a position where she could have told the Chantry to just let her go and they wouldn't have killed her and everything was fine. However, I immediately in my head undermined that particular example because she said it. She said it that and rightfully so, that you don't argue with your captors against your captivity. You rise up against them, which is true. So, so in being right, she undermines her argument. Oh my god, I'm so confused. Let me know how you feel about this particular situation. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next episode. Bye-bye. Don't forget to like, by the way, with a like. You know how I release more episodes for the series that I get more likes? Anyway, bye.